Why don't they just get Pochettino, Gab?
Well, I think they're not sure about the terms that they want. I mean, I appreciate what the guys were saying, but equally, and I am playing devil's advocate here a little bit, Erik Ten Hag is highly paid. He's also a grown-up. If, it would be different if they'd gone to him and says, Erik, yeah, you're the guy. We love you. We have total faith in you. And then they went behind his back. But I would like to give Ratcliffe and Brailsford the benefit of the doubt that they went to you, said, Erik, this is a tough situation because we were pretty piss poor last season. And so we're going to see if we can get somebody else to come in who we think is better than you. And if it happens, you'll be paid off handsomely. We're all grown-ups here. If it doesn't happen, then it may be you next year. And we expect you to be a professional, and you're highly paid to go out and do your job professionally. In terms of recruitment, we're overhauling things. Ashworth's on his way. Barada's on his way. They've already pretty much briefed that Jason Wilcox will kind of lay out how the team's going to play and do a lot of the transfer stuff, so they feel they're not behind on that.
Hey, what about my original question? Why don't they just get Pochettino, Gab?
Well, because they're not. I don't think they're totally convinced by Pochettino. You've heard them come out and say, right? Well, I haven't said it directly, but they've briefed it to a bunch of people that they're bringing in all these technical people, led by Jason Wilcox and Ashworth and whatnot, to go and really drive the transfer policy. And that means driving it from the club's perspective more than from the manager's perspective. Pochettino was in a situation like that at Chelsea. Remember the story of the set piece coach, and some players he liked, some players he didn't like so much. And that is part of the reason he's no longer there. Maybe they don't think Pochettino's a right fit for that. Maybe they think there's a better fit for it. Maybe Pochettino's like, big job, but do I really want to have Jason Wilcox coming by and, telling me about his new signings and whatever when I want to sign somebody else? I don't know. I mean, I can only guess that they're saying, this is really important. Let's take our time. It's certainly odd that it's taking forever.
If it's really important, take our time, then sack him. Sack him now and then if he's not the man to take them forward, and they clearly don't think so, you might as well make that change now. Right. He's a sitting duck. It goes back to my initial point. He's a sitting duck with no power. He knows they don't want him. And even if they keep him, Gab, he's going to have no say in any transfers, none whatsoever, because they don't trust him. They've only got to look at some of the players that he brought in, Anthony in particular. So his hands are tied behind his back. He's not going to walk away, because no manager's going to walk away from millions. Nobody in their right mind. But if you have got some managers out there, people that are going to be better going forward, what's the point in keeping this guy in place? I don't understand.
So there's two schools of thought there. One is what you said before about him and having say in transfers. Remember, at Ajax, he worked with a director of football. He worked with a club. It's not like he was going out there and picking the players to sign himself. So that might not necessarily be a bad thing, not letting him near the transfers, as we saw from some of those poor transfers that he made.
I'm sure he had an input at Ajax into transfers. An input. He's going to have no input here in this scenario.
OK, let me ask you this, Gab. What is more likely, at the start of the season, Ten Hag being in charge or another?
I would guess another. And look, and I was going to say, this is the other elephant in the room. There is a school of thought there that says that the guy that they really want is the man currently managing England, Gareth Southgate. But for many different reasons, Southgate, isn't going to come out and say, hey, I'm off after the Euros to go manage Manchester United. Could they be stringing it out until they wait for England to get knocked out of the Euros, and then Southgate reinvents himself as Manchester United? Which, by the way, if England throw up a stinker and have many more games like the ones they had against Iceland, that's not really going to excite United fans either. There's a school of thought that certainly leans that way. And then there's the other slightly more depressing one, which is to do with Ten Hag's contract. And some outlets have reported that because United aren't in Europe, he's going to get a 20% pay cut. And that somehow that's going to make his payoff cheaper, but only after July 1st. And so that way they're going to hang on until then and then make their move. I would find that pretty depressing and frankly humiliating if that was the case. Kind of nickel and diming for 1 or 2 million when you're kind of losing time elsewhere. But yeah, what can I tell you? These are the scenarios.